Now, during the first webinar, we demonstrated how to document your BA procedures. We mentioned we started with that task because it was multifaceted. We covered how to determine both who your BAs were and how to reach out to them to verify their compliance. We assigned your first task in Compliance System to create tasks, enter your BA contact information, and then send out the assessments. It gave you a good feel for Compliance System. During our last webinar, we covered PHI, and we went over the PHI tracking, the PHI, or rather the provider PHI survey, and then the site visit worksheets, which will also create additional tasks in Compliance System. The site visit worksheet is going to help you deal with or understand your physical safeguards, naturally. And then the PHI worksheets, both of them will help you address administrative safeguards. These worksheets will cover multiple tasks, again, which you can create within Compliance System, and they're going to help you identify your PHI flow throughout your office. So they briefly touched on the subject of safeguards under the security rule. The worksheets from last webinar, as well as what we're going to discuss today, will eventually generate several more tasks. After reviewing PHI from the last couple sessions, it's going to naturally bring us again to the ePHI and technical safeguards. And that's where we'll begin today. This is where the fun begins. Now, the next worksheet on your Card Tech portal will help you deal with everyday procedures and passwords. You all can have all types of contingency planning in place for every possibility, and we've discussed some of it, and we're going to discuss a lot more. But what about the ease of bypassing your security every day at your office? Sometimes it may not be a cyber criminal that gets right into your systems. What about a nosy patient, or a visitor that wants to know more about their dad, or their spouse, or a friend? Or what about a vendor stopping by to sell something and he wants to know what you've done in the past? Or what about that maintenance guy that just happens to be standing there? He's not doing anything, he's not waiting for the manager, he's just there. Before we go and look at the worksheet and go to our next task, let's see where everybody stands right now. Just like we did in the last couple of sessions, we're going to go over a poll which you're going to have to self-reflect. Like I said before during the live webinar, it is an interactive activity, so we get feedback and then we share it with the class. But I want you to at least look at these and review the questions and think where you stand. Just as I mentioned before, I want you to kind of look at the worst possible scenario. Don't answer the first question, but see what the worst is before you actually reply to yourself. So the question is, just starting with passwords in your office, do all of your workstations have a unique password? And of those, are there any stations that share usernames or passwords? Number 1, all of my workstations are password protected and each user has their own unique password. Awesome. Number 2, all of my workstations are password protected, but we do use shared workstation passwords. Number 3, most of my passwords are password protected, especially in public areas. Number 4, we have had difficulty implementing password procedures, but we are working on it with our IT department. And number 5, hopefully we don't get this, but passwords? Well, now if you notice in the question it says, do your workstations have a unique password? And we're going to go over that a great deal more, but a unique password is not something like Front Desk 1 or Clinical Area 3 or anything like that. It has to be complicated. It has to be unique. You should be using upper and lowercase letters. You should be using numbers and symbols. So a unique password is something that is part of this question, so it's something that you want to review. Now you may have passwords, and you may have answer number 1 and everything's awesome. I can tell you with the webinars that's not usually the answer, and with your office it may not be. But if you do, that's great. But what about password management? And when I say password management, what do I mean? Well, the second poll that we're going to go over is, are your passwords assigned and do they periodically change? And we'll start with number 1. Passwords are assigned by the administrator and change in a timely manner. Number 2. Passwords are assigned by the administrator, but there is no scheduled changes. Number 3. Passwords are created by each user, and we have a policy to change passwords regularly. Number 4. As you can see, each one gets a little bit more lax. Passwords are created by each user, and we trust the staff to change their passwords. Number 5,